What's going on, everybody? My name is Caleb Thomas, and here's what I'm going to be throwing for the 2023 season. Disclaimer, I only throw Discmania. I'm not sponsored or anything by them. I'd like to be like a brand ambassador to start here soon, but I'm pretty much only throwing them because they're the most consistent for me, and they have been pretty much the main success role in my disc golf game. So I'm going to be sticking with them for a while. Right off the bat, we have the Ridge Backpack V5. This is the most recent version. The only reason I got this was because it has a seat in it for when tape or when actually cards and everything get backed up. Right here, solid seat, love it. And I also am able to hold, I think, 28, 29 discs if I'm pushing. So right off the bat, we have the putters. I putt with the new Flex 3 Color Glow Rainmakers. I took the stamp off and then dyed them myself. These are great putters. I love them. They are very stiff though, which does cause spit outs for me. So I am on the market for a new putter, but I'm not really, I'm just kind of experimenting with some of them, like the Link and stuff. But yeah, putters are solid, loving them so far. Then I have my approaches. We will start with my 3 tactics. I have my Razor Claw 3. This is my most overstable one. This is used from mostly off the tee, flex shots, approaches, anything. I'm always pulling this out. This is my staple of approaches pretty much. Then I have another one, the complement to it, kind of like the brother. This one's a little more less stable, I'd say. It'll flip up and then it will be stable. The other one, the Razor Claw 3, pretty much is immediately hyzering as soon as I throw it, which is perfect for what I want. So this is a little flip up, and it also has pretty good for flexy ones. It'll hold, love that. And this is my flippiest tactic I have, the Exo Soft. I love this. This is a flip up, hold for a while, and then a nice stable finish at the end. Great for headwind, which is what I love for these. Then I have my last 3. I have my favorite approach disc, I'd say, because my favorite shot is just a hyzer flip. So my Exo Soft Logic is what I'm gonna be using. Anywhere from 250 to 285, I just really rip on it and just probably full hyzer, and then it'll just flip up, turn forever, and it'll come back at the end, and it's a nice light finish, which I love. And then I also have the Rainmaker, which I love because this is a flip up, a little bit of turn, and then a stable finish. It's a lot more stable than my Logic. It's a compliment to my Rainmakers itself, so I know how they feel, I know how the plastic, I know how it flies. So I've been loving this. And then I have my P3X C-Line. This is a very sought after disc. I needed it because I like throwing big hyzer spikes, which I tend to naturally throw hyzer, and my tactics are pretty much immediately hyzering as soon as I release them. So this is something that I can do that, and it'll flip up a tad bit and also hyzer and it'll push, which is what I love because the tactics will just die once you throw them. This will push a little bit while it's flipping up. So there are my putters and approaches. We are going to go into the mid-ranges. I bagged 5 mid-ranges. I don't really think I need too much, but we'll just start with these. Flippiest one I have in here is the Midnight Prow. This is something that I mostly only use for wooded shots. It's a crank full hyzer pretty much, and then it'll flip up, turn forever, and it like won't even come back, honestly, unless I just put it way too nose up. But for certain shots, it is used, but not always. Maybe it's used once or twice around, depending on the course. But I do love that disc. Then I have my Iron Samurai 3, which is pretty beat in now to where I can hyzer flip, turn a little bit, and then have a very nice, solid finish at the end, which is what I want for certain shots. I'm loving the C line of this. I love this MD3. Definitely gonna be looking for another one soon though, just for the backup. So definitely liking that. Then I have my more overstable Method. The Method is used, I had a really flippy one. This was recently just swapped out for a more overstable one, which is kind of used for certain shots. I'd say anywhere from 285, if I just want a nice light, like 70% power, I'll just rip the Method on hyzer and just kind of let it kind of hyzer back pretty nice. This is used every once in a while in a round, but definitely good to have. And then the Mutant. This is something that I rarely use it because I feel like I'm more confident with my tactics, but this is like a faster tactic. It's a 5.304, and the tactic is a 4.204. The Razor Claw 3 is, at least. But this is kind of a compliment for my Razor Claw 3 if I need a little extra distance. I'll be pulling out this bad boy. I don't like backhanding that one though. That's why I have this beautiful Color Glow MD5, which is what I'm pretty much using. If I would use the Mutant, I would be using this instead. So I'm honestly thinking about taking the Mutant out because I don't really throw it as much as I would like to. I feel like it's just kind of, I feel like there's another disc that could be put in. So the MD5, very nice disc, loving it. It's more of a crank, pretty much on a slight hyzer to flip up and immediately hyzering. As soon as that flips up, it is completely hyzering. So not a bad disc, very good to have, and I love how good it looks. Purple and orange go great together. So gotta look good while you throw, right? All right, so my last mid-range, My bad, I'm at 6 mid-ranges. This is the Mindbender. You can't go wrong. You cannot be throwing Discmania and not have a Mindbender in your bag. This is perfect. I throw this from probably 300. If it's just a dead straight shot, I'll crank this on a full hyzer. It flips up, turns, and it just goes because the glide is insane on these. I cannot stress it enough. But I like throwing this in headwind sometimes because I can just put more hyzer and it'll turn and the glide will just get the extra distance that I need that like an Origin or an Iron Samurai might not get. So I love the Mindbender. If you don't have one of these in your bag and you throw Discmania, what are you doing with your life? That is all the mid-ranges. We're gonna go to the fairways. All right, so I think I have 9 fairways. So we'll start with my utility disc is my Splice. This is something that is so overstable. It's like a Captain's Raptor on steroids. It literally, I crank it at a anhyzer like this and it will get out of it and it is perfect. And it dies right away too, which I love. This is used every round I play, no matter what course I'm on, this is used. It's like my tilt almost. I don't have a tilt, but if I were to get one, I would use it for this slot. So Splice is fantastic. Then we have my Metal Flake FD3. This is also a huge staple in my bag. This is my main 4-2 or my forehand go-to disc. This is a more stable version of it. I like to backhand it, but mostly forehand it. I have the other one, a Color Glow FD3, which is more beat in and a more flip up to flat and then hyzer out. So this is my main forehand. This is my main backhand FD3. These are great discs. If you're not throwing FD3s, you need to get a hold of one of these. These blow Raptors out of the way. Blow them out of the water. I mean, I said it and I'm gonna stand by that statement. These blow Raptors out of the water. So yeah, I said that. Don't at me. Then I got my roller slash really like understable disc is my my Zen Essence. I throw this pretty much from a huge left to right just for bombs because I don't really have many understable discs right now at the moment. This is my only understable one for rollers and just for straight hyzer flip, turn forever and never comes back. I mean, this thing is so understable. But it is good to have. I'll throw it maybe once or twice around, depending on the course, obviously. But definitely good to have in the bag. Then we have my Flippy Boy, my S-Line FD. You gotta be bagging an FD. I used to bag a C-Line, but I ended up not needing it because this C-Line felt weird, but the S-Line feels great in my hand. The C-Line just came out weird. It was like slippery, I don't know. But I ended up replacing that one with the Zen Essence. But now I have this S-Line FD. I love this. This is a full hyzer, flip up, turn. But this one's more stable to where it can finish at the end, which is good, which is what I really want in a disc. So my favorite shot's just a hyzer flip, turn, and then finish. So this is money, love this disc. Now I have probably my favorite disc in my entire bag is my CD1 Crush Boys Special Edition. I know this was sought after for a while too, and it's hard to get them, but this is probably my favorite disc in the bag. I mean, for anyone that doesn't know what it flies like, it's pretty much a very controllable driver. I think it's a 9.5 -1.2. I mean, it's a straight hyzer flip, turn, and it's effortless distance for this thing. Like this is 350 and up. I can rip this thing. I love it. It's just a straight shot, and it's also, you know, stable enough to where it can finish at the end as well. So this is my baby. Using this every course I go to. On to my S-Line PD. This is a 10403. It's a more understable PD to where I'll usually rip it in like a slight headwind where I know it won't, you know, turn over on. But PDs where I need a little bit extra distance, and if a slight headwind is there, I would be throwing this. I usually don't throw it because sometimes I'll torque it over. It feels a little different than my, for instance, Lone Half 3, which is a really overstable PD. So it just depends on the wind of which one I'll be throwing of these, either my Lone Half or the S-Line. But yeah, you get the point. I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time. So those are my fairway drivers, and now I'm on to my distance drivers. I have 5 distance drivers. I'll start with my baby. Another baby of mine is the Stratosphere, the DD1. This is almost a staple in my bag for distance drivers. It's the most controllable one I have. It's beat into a point where I can just put it on this much hyzer, and it's like a late flip up, and I love it. Great glide on this, effortless distance. This is anywhere from 350 to 400. I'm ripping this thing. This is used probably every course I go to. And then this is my Flippy DD3. This is left to right. I can just rip this thing. This is anywhere from like 385 to 430. Like I'm just gonna pull this out. But if it's more of a controllable straight shot, I'll probably go with the Stratosphere for the glide. But this is used almost every round I play as well. Great disc to have. DD3s feel so good in the hand, and they just fly effortless distance. But love this thing. Highly recommend buying one of these for you guys. And then I have my more overstable, brand new Horizon Cloudbreaker. This thing is a beefcake. Anyone that throws these, they are very, very stable. I mostly use it for forehands, honestly. It's more of a flex, get a little bit of turn, and then hyzer out, which is perfect for what I want. So this is very, very stable. But I'm loving it though. It's a good disc. I use it every course I go to. Literally, I'll be pulling this out. And then we have my last two, my G-Line PD2. This was a very hard disc to get, and this is my baby. I do not want to lose this ever. I almost lost it today, actually, and I left the course early because I did not want to lose this. Great disc, though. This is a original Discmania. This was oh God, I got this for a really good deal. This is a disc, though, to where it's so beat end to the point where it flies like a PD2 once it slows down, but it almost flies like a beat-end destroyer when you throw it. Like, I'll put it this much hyzer, and it just goes, and then once it slows down, it'll finally hyzer. But it just feels like effortless distance because it's G-Line, and I feel like it's just wants to get out of my hand when I grab it, which just feels so good. So this is used every round I play. And then we have my last but not least, my very overstable PD2. This is pretty much just a compliment. Depending on the wind, I will usually be throwing this. If it's no wind, like 400, I'll be throwing the PD2. But if there's like a little bit of headwind or something, then I'll probably be throwing this PD. It's very stable. And I also use it a lot for forehands though, because it is C-line. So, but overall, I'm loving it. Loving the PD2s. I recently just all switched to Discmania like a month and a half ago, so everything's not too seasoned in, but they're starting to get seasoned in. But I'm really liking all the plastics so far. So, yeah. Then I got my little mini over here. Little Discmania mini. Rangefinder. Got everything looking good in the bag too. But yeah, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and keep slinging, all right?